My name is Navjot Singh and I'm from India. I'm working as a nurse on ICU ward at Ballarat Base Hospital. At the beginning of COVID, I was a truck driver, and then when the COVID was at the peak, I lost my job, and then I applied for a few jobs, and then I was like, let's start in the field. So I started working at the aged care, and then there was a breakout of COVID at that aged care. There was definitely the increase in the workload. There was the PPEs, you got to put the gown on, the mask, the gloves and everything, and then you got to manage residents who got dementia. It was hard, it was stressful at that time, managing all that stuff, managing their meals and even every little thing. Also was a student nurse at that time, and there was difficulty with the studies as well. In terms of the studies went from on-campus sessions to the online studies. I would go to work and then come back home, study online, sleep, eat, then go to work, come back, online studies, and yeah. To be honest, the first patient I saw with the COVID, it was he was normal, he was symptomatic, but he wasn't that serious. But there were some experiences where I've seen people were not able to grieve for their loved ones because they just passed, and they just can't grieve properly because the hospitals got the restrictions at that period that only one person can visit. It was hard psychologically for the staff as well. So I think a lot of people went through trauma, especially the families, for the members they have seen passed away in front of them, in front of their eyes. Yeah. My parents were tested positive, and I'm grateful that they survived, but there are many people who have lost their loved ones. When I was a PCA at the aged care, I've seen my colleagues crying after the shift or during the shift. They just can't hold their tears because of the workload they have got. And also, I remember that when my parents got tested positive, they didn't tell me for a few days, and then I got it to know from my brother. I was driving down the freeway, and I pulled out my car on freeway, and I stopped, and I just burst out because I cried, and because I was having the feeling, because I'm feeling hopeless. I'm sitting here, can't do anything for them, and I was feeling useless, not being able to do anything for them. I would say that's something personal. I think I've never told anyone about this. No. It has changed my view, like how I view the society or how I would see the world now onwards. I would say the first thing I would have learned is to be grateful. What you have, it might be the need of someone else. Because I said earlier, I'm grateful that my parents survived the COVID, but there are many people who have lost their parents. I think that's one of the reasons that staff shortages is more prominent, or is it at the peak at this stage? Because what happens is when you work on a ward, there's a big chance that you're going to take the infection home. There's a chance that you're going to be positive the next day, and you don't want to give it to your children. That's why most of the staff members reduce their working from 6 days a week to only 2 or 3 days a week. I went home, I did a rat test, and it turned out to be, it bright up like a Christmas tree, and I was tested positive. I'm grateful that my housemates were good enough to give me the meals and stuff. Fever, headache, chills. I never had headache in my life ever before I had COVID, and I had headache for a few months after the COVID as well. When I started in the hospital I work at, I had to trim my beard to some extent, and then after that, just because I had to put the mask on and stuff. So it's all part of the Sikhism, not to take the hair off. Whatever you got naturally, you got to keep it. These are some of the things I think COVID made us suffer culturally, I would say. The religion teaches us to serve others, to serve for the one who's in need. That's what motivates every Sikh or me to to volunteer in these activities, I would say. I'm learning a lot from nursing because my pathway will be to become a surgeon in future. Nobody's doctor in my family, and if I'll be one, it would be like I'll be helping out people. At least I'll be helping out my family. I wasn't able to afford to become a surgeon at this stage, so I thought starting from nursing I will earn some money and then I'll be a surgeon in future. Yeah.